Treatments can be separated in two large groups: the small molecules, which are the traditional chemical drugs, and the biological-based treatments, highly innovative and, for a part of them, still experimental. We will go through the most representative to see where to fulfill the gaps and tackle the challenges. Through the traditional target-based drug discovery process, the repurposing drug, the phenotypic high-content screening, and also through the cell and gene therapy, which have their own challenges. What is extremely important is not to be exclusively focused on one type. The secret for success is to balance your interest. You need to have a balanced portfolio between the risk of failure in development and the benefits your patient will get from the treatment, starting from symptomatic drugs that you have already with low risk but low reward, disease-modifying therapy with repurposing drugs, so you increase the risk a little bit, but the reward is still not really high because they are not very specific to your disease. The new molecule entities or disease-modifying therapies that are at higher risk but highly rewarding, and at the top, of course, the gene therapy. In addition to a balanced portfolio, one of the primary steps to ease the path to pharma and increase the chance of success for treatment is to have a target product profile. This is established with a tight collaboration between the patients, the clinicians, and the help of the FDA. You need to define your goal at two levels: the ideal and the acceptable requirements for the compounds. You need to define primary product indication, the patient populations, the treatment duration, delivery modes, the dosage form, the regimen, the efficacy you want, and establish the risk and the side effect that you will tolerate, and try to find the ideal therapeutic modality. Making a strategy will be based on the conclusions from the scientific field analysis, the gaps identified in the de-risking platform, and the portfolio you want to create. All will lead to an action plan in research and clinic for 6 months and 2 years. I will show you an example. I take the ultra-rare disease Barth syndrome, where I will show you a 6 months action plan in research and drug discovery and in clinical development. The first 6 months action point for the research would be to do a target scan, to build a balanced target portfolio with the key opinion leader in a workshop, to start the contract negotiation to access the Barth syndrome models, build a screening library in collaboration with chemists, collaborate with NCATs using the MIP library, explore collaboration opportunities for screens with NCATs or CROs, and start the screen. The action point for the first 6 months on the clinical point of view will be do a clinician workshop to construct the target product profile and also the expansion strategy. Then create a clinic network, identify center of excellence, and start the training. Contact adjacent organizations in cardiomyopathy, neutropenia, and others. Expand the scientific community, attending the Barth Syndrome Conference, and connect globally. In conclusion, the profile of your foundation with this strategy is in the center of all the stakeholders, being the link between the different entities, the patients, the academia, be a de-risker for the pharmaceutical and biotech company, and be a partner and an influencer on the government and the regulatory and the FDA.